The history of Safe Harbor started with some local residents that really felt like there was a need to assist individuals that were victims of domestic violence, and so together they came up with a grassroots process around assisting those victims and providing them a safe place, and started an emergency shelter and started some services just within their own community. And from there it's grown into not just an emergency shelter, but transitional housing apartments and outreach services for individuals that don't necessarily need emergency shelter, and children's services, and just an array of services that started just with a few residents getting together and identifying a real need in Davis County.
I work with my clients who are typically of diverse backgrounds and make sure that they receive the services that are available for everyone regardless of documentation is definitely a huge challenge, and just conquering language barriers is a really big deal, because normally in the system, if people don't speak English, it's very easy for them to be tossed aside, it's very easy for them to be overlooked, and so just making sure that I myself, as well as the people that we partner with and work with, are advocating for those clients regardless.
I provide victims with one-on-one services through crisis counseling. I help them apply for housing, different food stamp resources, food banks, any employment help that they need, or any other resources that could be helpful to them after experiencing a sexual assault.
I loved what I was doing and became passionate about helping bring awareness to the issue of family violence and to make sure that children had a voice in healing from that. Basically, what the Outreach Children's Advocate does is we offer services to those children that are not staying in our emergency shelter, but are still in families that are dealing with family violence and that kind of thing. Any services, groups, interventions, referrals for therapy, anything that the children need in order to start to overcome and heal the violence in their home.
I see these women in our shelter who have experienced such trauma, and they still find the space to be kind to one another and support one another and create this community of safety and support, where I've talked to survivors who went through our shelter years ago that every time the common response is, when I came to Safe Harbor, I found safety and a community of women and survivors that could identify with what I was going through, and my advocate changed my life forever. And they can come to Safe Harbor and know that they have a moment to breathe and to just be okay and be safe.
Okay, my name's Tajan Beckstead, and I'm a mother of 5. And I am truly a survivor, for sure. I was in an abusive relationship for 13 years, and that last incident, he almost killed me. And I stayed in the hospital for a month, and during that time I was in the hospital for a month, I had my 3 youngest children taken away by the state because I was unable to care for them at that time. If Safe Harbor was not here, I have no idea where I'd be, honestly. I really don't.
I would encourage people to support in any way they can, because this is a problem that is going on in our community. We need the support as an agency to be able to expand our services so that we don't have to turn away a family and we don't have to turn away children, and we cannot do that without community support and help.
I get the question a lot of times about how the community can support Safe Harbor, and there are so many different ways that can happen. Sometimes that's bringing in donations, whether that be food or items that will help support the victims. And so it's gift cards, and it's those extra dollars that allow us to provide support to a victim in a way that makes sense for them.
I think we need to be aware, and we need to be educated that this is happening, and kind of watch how we're talking about it. Being willing to spread the resources and the education, and we always need people who are willing to volunteer, people who are willing to make donations. Anything like that is so helpful to Safe Harbor. Anything and everything helps Safe Harbor and our survivors.
Tenemos ayuda, entonces si estás en una situación de violencia doméstica o de abuso sexual o físicamente o solamente con palabras también, tenemos ayuda aquí.
So to our donors, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for giving what you can give to support our work and to support your community. We couldn't do this without you. It's absolutely critical to engage all our community and all our donors and all our volunteers and everyone that gives so much to help make our work possible. And we can't thank you enough.
What Safe Harbor has done to help push me become the person I am today, it's helped me become more independent and more empowered. I am now setting an example for my children, and a good example, and this is the first time that I can say that in a very long time. I'm very proud of myself as a mother. I am setting an example for my children.
I want to thank the residents for embracing Safe Harbor, because without them honoring us being here in their county and knowing how important this work is, we couldn't do the work that we have to do every single day. Thank you for making this possible in Davis County.